Welcome to Let's Play Taurus Trophy Part 2. And let's get our second license, which is the Junior license. Ooh. What a concept, I know. Anyways, so 10 more tests. And let's get started with our first one, Breaking Basics 3. Which involves the first corner of Tsukuba Circuit. And, well, this took a few tries because this is a little difficult test. This track in general in this game is really hard for me to accomplish things in. We'll see more of that later, but yeah. But it took a few tries, but I eventually got the corner down and got the gold because I'm that cool. So yeah. Anyways, J2, more Breaking Basics, this time at El Capitan. This is the section right after the undulating Holocaust, kind of in the middle section of the track. And yeah, just around this left-hand sweeper. You have to be very careful there. And you can maybe take that left-hander full throttle, but it's kind of difficult to do. Just get around the hairpin, tuck in, second gear. Almost fell off the bike there. Want to get a good exit off of this turn, which I kind of got, but not really. But it was good enough to stay up ahead and get the gold, so yeah. That one's a little tricky just because of how tricky El Capitan is. Now we go on to the avoidance test. This is interesting, let me tell you. So here's how this works. You see the three splits there. You go through these three sections. There will be an arrow pointing you which direction you have to go. If you go the wrong direction, you fail. If you go the right direction, congrats, you keep going to the next one. And by the way, it's randomly generated which direction the arrow points, so you never know what to expect. And as such, and also in the last zone, you actually have to come to a full stop, like that. And as you see, I got the gold by a second. So luckily the avoidance tests are really goddamn generous because of how random they are. And then we go back into the slaloms. So this one's a little more difficult than the first slalom because it's a much faster bike. But again, kind of have to, although it's faster, it's also, to get gold, you still want to stay full throttle and tucked in. At least I think so. As you see, my personal best before this gold run was 2 1,000ths off of the gold time. And yeah, there you go. Just gotta stay full throttle and tucked in and hope for the best. And don't, for the love of God, touch a cone. Now, J5. It's the same thing, except it has something very unique to it that we only actually see in this very license test. Same bike, same slalom course, except there's a passenger rider adding weight to the bike. This is the only time you'll ever see a passenger rider. So this is a pretty unique test, because now you have to deal with added weight. And kind of fuck with that shit. Also like how the passenger's just kind of chilling. I'm just weaving back and forth and he just doesn't give a fuck. But yeah, that one's kind of difficult just because kind of have to get used to the added weight and shit. It makes kind of snapping your bike back and forth a little more difficult, but yeah. Next test, J6, is a around the S's at Suzuka, almost says Tsukuba. This one's pretty easy. It's in a low power bike. And S's around here are actually not that difficult to get around in a motorcycle. At least it wasn't for me. So you know. Just nice and smooth, but a little wide there, but that's okay. Then tuck in after that right-hander to get to the straight finish. And yeah. That's that. Once again, not that difficult of a test overall. This one, however, short and sweet and fucking hard. Not hard in the fact that it'll take a million tries to get the gold time. Fucking hard in the fact that this is a difficult ass turn in a motorcycle. 130R at Suzuka. But that's all you have to do in this test. Get around that turn, get to the finish in time. I think that was actually my, well, it was my first completed run. I definitely not my first try, because I went off track quite a few times, because like I said, getting around that 130R in a motorcycle is pretty damn difficult. Speaking of damn difficult, involving motorcycles, the middle section at Deep Forest. Deep Forest is not a kind track to motorcycles. There's a lot of places around this circuit that are, you have to be very careful with your steering or else you will fall off the bike. That dip being one of them. But overall, I really don't know what to say about this. I almost fell off there because I was turning really hard to see the fucking sparks show here. But all is fine, and there we go. Don't really know what else to say about it. It's just Deep Forest, and yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm very bad at giving advice, so don't. Yeah. I'll give you a visual example, not so much a verbal example. Anyways, our last test section before our graduation test, the spoon curve, or spoon corner at Suzuka. Once again, this is not too difficult, just gotta get a nice run through the first turn. And then want to do what I do is try to get the late apex right around where the rumble strips end. And get as fast as a run off the turn. And barely got the gold on that, just by 200ths. But spoon curve overall, pretty fun turn in motorcycle. And now for the graduation test of the junior license. One lap around Deep Forest. You know how I was just talking about how Deep Forest is pretty damn difficult on a motorcycle? It is. Now you have to do a whole lap around it in less than a minute 23.9. But once you get used to the track and figure out the spots where your bike becomes more unstable, it's not that bad. Not that bad at all. So yeah, of course, you know, not starting off very good. Actually behind my Ghost and also that wheelie. Just kind of hopping on the curb. Don't mind me. But I screwed up that turn in my Ghost. And screwed it up a little less on this run. Still not right down the bottom, but hey, it was fun. Still got a good exit, so it doesn't matter. So around this double apex. Sweeping double apex at that. Down the back area. Now this right-hand kink on the back straight is another easy place because there's a little dip here that makes it very easy to fall off the bike, so you have to be kind of careful with your steering input there. That turn, I always end up slowing down too much for that turn, but it's actually a pretty fun turn. And then finally, the final kink turn, which I almost fucked it all up there. See, my Ghost passed me, and then I actually spun the rear tire on the exit, but still got enough momentum to get the gold. So overall, that was not a very good lap around Deep Forest, but it was good enough to capture the gold trophy and get our gold junior license. Already have half the licenses, since, you know, there's only 4 license classes. So for getting all the bronze trophies in the junior license, you get all this shit. Once again, I don't really give a fuck about the gear. I care more about the bikes. But here's all the gear we get for getting silver. Hell yeah. And finally, the gear for getting gold, which I believe is only a couple helmets. It's always just a couple helmets, I don't know why. Whatever. But here's the important part, our prize bike, a Honda CB404 from 1974. Pretty snazzy bike. Comes with an exhaust upgrade, because those things exist. And yeah, there we go. So there's our gold trophies on the back of our license card. So let's check out our new bike. The Honda CB404. Another Honda, so both licenses have given me a Honda so far. And there we go. And with that, stay tuned for more Tourist Trophy and the next license.